First, I'll start with, it starts with me as the coach. I did a poor job at preparing our group to play and compete out here today. And I'm not taking anything away from what Penn State did. They played phenomenal. Uh, they were prepared. Coach told me at the end of the game that, they had 3 days to prep for this, and you can just show, you can just see how they showed, with their performance to outside shooting, knowing going in a ball game that this team shoots extremely well at home. Um, they average 41% from three, and they also averaged 11 made threes. So knowing that the shooting was going to play a role, but there was times where they were uncontested. There were times where they got layups, and that can happen. So that's why I say it starts with me. I got to do a better job of preparing us, and I will do better to help put our team in a better position than what we showed today.
Hey, Juwan, you saw this team a few weeks ago at home. You had a 10-point win. What was different about facing them this go-round?
Like I said earlier, I mean, they had three days prepared, and they did a great job of preparation. Give credit to Coach Shrewsbury and his staff. And also give credit to their players on what they worked on and being so dialed in and executing their sets. Defensively for us, we didn't. I would say it started like at the last 5 minutes of the first half, where when that 1-3 bounced all the way up, and you just see like the timing of that ball. It's like, okay, please, I was begging, please bounce out. Let's get the rebound, and it stayed up there for like, I would say 3.5 seconds if I was counting, and then it bounced in. And then prior to that, they had already made 1-3 that bounced in as well. And I'm like, yo, wow, is it one of those days? And so after that, they just went on a spiral where they just was able to, feed from the energy from the crowd. I had turned to Shrewsbury. I started laughing. I'm like, yo, this is what we in right now, huh? And he knew it, that from the passion and being around a lot of basketball and seeing how these young men were competing, it worked in their favor and it worked against us. And from there, they just went on a run. They didn't look back.
Coach, it seems like Hunter Dickinson was getting doubled on every offensive possession.
Right.
What went into the offensive adjustment for him throughout the game?
Well, Hunter got some catches in the paint. Um, there was one that was thrown to his ankles. There was also some catches where, he caught it, he threw one out, and I mean by out, like back out to the perimeter when he should have turned and shot it. But that's a part of the aggressiveness and reading the game that, as a competitor, we would go back and look at film. I would go back and show Hunter that, there are ways that, he's being a little unselfish, that he has to be a little bit more selfish when you catch it, especially in the paint. Expected, and I did, expected their double team. It's going to happen. It's going to happen throughout the year. It's no surprise. If every team in the league is going to throw a double team at them. And our perimeter players is going to make sure that we find ways to get him in sweet spots where he can catch it and, try to play one-on-one. But he also understands, too, that there are going to be times where you have to be unselfish and pass the ball on time, on target, without turning it over.
Coach, Juwan Howard just got off of a left ankle injury and started off hot in this game. How much did that really help out his rehabbing?
Well, I mean, I give a lot of credit to our staff, medical staff I'm speaking of, Chris Williams and others. They've been working around the clock and trying to get the young man healthy. And, he's not 100% at all whatsoever. If it was left to me, he wouldn't have played this game. He was not going to allow me to let him sit another ball game like how he sat versus Purdue. It's no surprise because me knowing him and knowing my son, his passion and for the game of basketball, his also how he's wired to help his team, and he's all total team guy. When he went out there, with the type of performance that he displayed, it was special. And special players will step up in big time moments, and it was huge, and I know his teammates really appreciated, that he came out and played on a bum ankle, and not making excuses, but doing whatever he can to help the team.
Coach, when you talked about, that three just hitting every single part of the rim, and then some of those shots just you have to throw your hands up. At this point in the season, when you realize, like you said, it's going to be one of those nights, does that change your coaching philosophy or your message to the guys as the game progresses?
You always try to stay as positive as you can, but understanding that, knowing that, every young man on our team is very prideful and they're ultra competitive, and they care. And overall, like, you want to make, where every shot that's taken that is contested with a hand up without fouling. It just, it's sometimes in basketball, I would call when they made those 2 threes, when the ball is bouncing up, I believe in this, that it is basketball gods. So basketball gods helped them, those 2 threes for sure. But those other threes that they made, I was poor planning from the coach and not doing a good job of making Penn State work for every bucket they got, because there were a lot of times where it just back cut, layup, or drive, or back cut, another layup, or back cut 3. That should never happen. That's on me.
Jalen Pickett, 25 points today. What makes him such a difficult player to defend, and did your game plan adjust at all from the last time you played Penn State?
Jalen has a great year, and he's playing extremely well. We're probably going to see him again. You never know how the Big Ten tournament goes, but a special young man, and he's bought into coach's system, and he's been extremely effective.
Lindsay, you want to close this out?
Oh, yeah. So Pickett obviously came out really hot, couldn't miss to start the game, but then a lot of other Penn State players really also stepped up. What problems did their scoring depth present for you guys?
Oh, it presented a lot of problems. Like I said earlier, with the threes that were being made, and then also getting points in the paint, we just didn't do a good job of stopping them. And I will go back and watch film, and I will also go back and look myself in the mirror and say it starts with me. I can do better.